In this video, I wanted to take a quick look at the Fiskars heavy duty snips. These are basically like shears, but they're called snips. They're something you use in the garden or in the shop. It's different than a pair of scissors just because of the way the handle is and the way the blade is shaped. You can tell you kind of clamp it down instead of cut with scissors more through your thumb. Like I said, they're from Fiskars. They're called the heavy duty utility snips or just heavy duty snips. They use that gold blade. And when Fiskars uses the gold blade, that means it's titanium coated, titanium nitride coated, which means it has a harder edge. So it's a little bit sharper and it should stay sharper than the standard silver stainless steel. It is still stainless steel, but it's just coated in titanium nitride. So it has, just as far as the features go, we can see it has a safety lock right here. Pretty easy to use, but kind of hurts your finger when doing it. Once it's unpadded, it's just a piece of metal that's kind of friction fit in place with this pop rivet. It has some grip here, so it can kind of grab onto what you're holding. You have a little wire cutting end here. This is way you could put a wire or something like that in there, and as you're cutting, it doesn't want to slide out. It gets caught in this little trench and it gets cut like that. The grip is on this side is too. We have a lock washer and a little bolt head here, so you can open it up. It has a flat side here, so two ends, so you just use a channel lock on that side. And here, you'd have to probably grab it with some pliers, but I haven't had to take these apart yet. Big spring, so it's a big grip, which means you could open that mouth really wide. The downside of that is if you were to, or when you open it up, it could kind of pop open sometimes, and you might struggle to grab it unless your hands are all the way at the top. Hard rubber plastic here. I haven't any problems with it breaking or anything like that, but it is hard rubber plastic. It's not metal. And then a slightly grippier, not soft, but softer rubber material here. So hard plastic in the orange, just like Fiskars standard orange scissors. And then a still hard but rubbery plastic here. And that's kind of it. It's kind of a bit of a taper up here so you could hold on to it. It's glove friendly with these grip here and that sort of softer rubbery material there. The features are pretty simple, ideal for light metals, 18 gauge wire, so pretty skinny wire. Aluminum siding, banding straps. So a banding strap would be like a metal strap that would be used for, tying down a bunch of plywood. Roof flashing, so like that's a skinny aluminum, a thin aluminum plate you would use to waterproof around a chimney or skylight. And then small dowels. I mean, a snip isn't really ideal for a dowel, which you're going to crack the end, but good for 1/4-inch rope, which is good, and screens. Screens and other things like that need a really good sharp snip or scissor is where I find a snip to be really ideal. Obviously, there's gardening purposes. If you were to cut a small, they say dowel here, but really it might be like a rose bush or a hydrangea or something like that. Other features, yeah, serrated blade, which we covered, thumb activated lock, which is super important, and then not too much else. So I like this. I like a nice heavy duty pair of snips. This one I say would generally be not heavy duty. It's a light set of snips. It's not typically what I lean to, but it's useful if you have something between using your shears and using household scissors. That's where these come in. So it was a bit of an experiment for me, was it's, usually I'll go for the heavy duty shears or a kitchen scissor, but sometimes you need an in-between job. So a kitchen scissor might do something like this, cut through a piece of plastic and cardboard. No problem doing that with the snips, which is nice. It's very light duty work for something like this. How about this? This is a just two pieces of light wire you might have to get through, and I'll put it in there at that end piece. No problem at all, going right through that, which is really nice, and it's a really clean cut through that copper core. So nailed it there. Here's an old, what's this? An old SATA cable that's a little bit busted up. Let's do it at the end, see if it works. Nice clean cut at the end through that SATA cable. But if you're really cutting it, you would go over here and yeah. So a little bit of a pinch there. You can see the ends are a little bit pinched out, but really no problem there. And what else did I have? I had some other stuff I wanted to cut in this test. And here is hard plastic that you would use to get through. So blister pack, right through that, no problem. So that's the sort of stuff you would use a snip for. Light duty work, light wiring. I like it, I said, for screens and flashing and you know, pieces of shingle, stuff like that. It'll get right through, and you'll have a lot more accuracy than if you were to use some big heavy shears. And it can get through like kind of utility work, like plastic, no problem. Even this is a thicker plastic, gets right through that with a nice clean cut and really good accuracy. So anyway, I really like Fiskars products. I like these utility snips, kind of an in-between size, like a tweener tool. That's useful for some jobs, but not ideal for all jobs. They sell for about 15 bucks, which is like on the high end, considering a heavy set of kitchen shears could do most of this. And then for the big work, you're gonna have to get your sort of power shears anyway, but pretty cool tool and really well made. I like Fiskars stuff a lot. So thanks for watching.